been wearing the same clothes for like 3 days now. Ooh. Hi y'all. So today we're gonna be making some banana bread. Got all my mise en place. You need 2 eggs, 3 bananas, half a cup of butter, 1.5 cups of sugar, some baking powder, and I don't remember how much flour this was. No, this is not 1.5 cups of sugar. This is 1 cup of sugar, and this is 1.5 cups of flour. Except I put a little less sugar because it sounded like a lot of sugar, so I think it's like 3/4 cup. First, I have to crush up my bananas. I'll be using a fork. I'm gonna leave them a little chunky because that's how I like my banana bread, with little chunks of bananas in it, you know? I personally like to make banana bread when my bananas are brown and ugly like this because they tend to be sweeter, and I don't like to eat them just like this because they're really ugly and it makes me sad. So instead I bake them into bread. As y'all can tell, I'm having a bit of trouble with the bananas, but it's okay. I got them open. That's all that matters. So you're just gonna put them on the bowl and throw out your scraps. So I'm just going to continue to mash the bananas until I get them to a consistency that I like. Now the eggs. Crack, whoosh, crack, whoosh. Mix, 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 mix. Delicious. We don't have any other small bowls at the moment, so I'm just gonna put the eggs into the bananas. I need a place to melt the butter. I've been using so much butter during this quarantine because I've been cooking and baking so much. It's definitely not good for me, but here I am cutting up some butter. Okay, so I lied. We don't need to melt the butter. We just need to soften it because I'm going to cream it with the sugar. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Here's the absolute love of my life, my KitchenAid mixer. My parents bought it for me when I got into culinary school. It's the love of my life. It makes my life easier. So I'm gonna just be starting by creaming butter and sugar together in the bowl. So here's me pouring some sugar into the bowl. Next up is the butter. I had some trouble getting the butter in, don't judge me. After the butter, we're just going to lift up the bowl and mix on low to medium speed, whatever you prefer. You know, y'all are all strong, independent women. You got this. Just gonna take my trusty spatula. Oh. I'm just gonna take my trusted rubber spatula and scrape down the sides of my bowl. So the reason why you cream butter and sugar together is to make like the butter lighter and fluffier, which is why you use granulated sugar rather than powdered sugar, because you want to create those little air pockets in the butter. Now I'm going to put in my egg and banana mixture. It looks super gross. Yum. Before I continue, I'm going to sift together my dry ingredients. So my flour, my baking powder, and salt. So I'm just sifting all my dry ingredients together in a bowl. There goes some of my flour. I'm just shifting it, shifting. Oh gosh. So I'm just sifting it into my bowl. Look at me go. I'm like a pro. Ooh, I just rhymed. Did you hear that? I couldn't open the baking powder because my nails. But I mean, I got it eventually. So that's all that matters. Am I right? Honestly, guys, it's 3 in the morning right now and I have nothing to say about this baking powder. It's just baking powder. I'm just measuring some baking powder. Next is gonna be the salt. That's all. That's my voiceover. I'm just gonna throw salt in. There we go. Why do we sift? We sift to get rid of any impurities that might be in the flour, any big clumps of anything that needs to be broken up, and so that everything can be kind of incorporated together before we mix it into the wet ingredients. Also, y'all, I didn't have baking soda, so I just used baking powder and I just multiplied the amount that it told me to use of baking soda by 3 because that's what the internet told me to do. So the internet better not have been lying to me. I'm just gonna put like half of it in for now. I'm gonna mix it on a lower speed. Scrape the sides because we want everything to get mixed in to the batter. We don't want to miss anything. And we are just going to mix the rest of the dry ingredients in. So the reason why we sift the dry ingredients separately from the wet ingredients and then incorporate them into the wet ingredients after all of the wet ingredients have been mixed is to prevent the gluten in the flour from being over mixed because it makes it really tough and we want a light fluffy bread. Banana bread mixture is basically mixed, so I'm just going to take the paddle out. I'm going to scrape this down and I'm going to hand mix it. Ooh, look at me go. Stir, stir, stir. Mix, 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 mix. Mix, mix, mix. I forgot that we don't have any like spray, like the non-stick spray, so I'm gonna have to butter it. Just gonna be annoying. And the recipe says to flour it. So here's me buttering the pans or loaf pans. I don't really know what they're called, but anyways, I'm buttering them. I was gonna butter 2, but I ended up needing 3, so I'm buttering 3 of them, 3 whole pans. Ooh, look at that butter, delicious. Yep, all over my fingers. It was such a pleasant experience. Can you tell? I just love it when my fingers are coated in butter, you know? You guys better come visit me in Jersey. I'm so sorry about that joke, but I think it had to be said. Y'all better be visiting me in Jersey sometime soon. I have like a little batter left and I was just gonna put them in these 2, but I decided against not overfilling them. So obviously I meant to say I didn't want to overfill them. Obviously I should not be doing voiceovers at 3 in the morning. So I don't want to mess up the big mess. I don't want to mess up the bake time and I don't want them to like, I don't know, rise too much. So I guess I'm just gonna do another one. And now we wait. So the recipe says to bake for 50 minutes, but that made only 1 batch and mine made like 2.5. So I think I'm gonna check on it in 20 minutes. So I'll see you then. It's been 20 minutes, but it looks like it still isn't brown on top, so I'm gonna wait 5 more minutes. so beautiful. Ooh, ooh. Ooh. So they ended up taking like 40 minutes, but look at them. They smell so good. This is the pan that I filled with all of the extra batter that I had. So I'm just popping that in and it's my last one. Exciting. They're ready. Okay, I'm just gonna flip them. At them. I'm so excited to eat them. I'm really excited about my banana bread.